I've been pottering away in the workshop all this time, and I think I'm getting close to a breakthrough on the corrugated iron rolling machine project that I started way back in the spring. Can anyone even remember that far back? I filmed some of the steps along the way, and this is the first one. One of the viewers of my early experiments suggested I make a bead roller instead. Now, I hadn't even heard of a bead roller, so I had to look them up, and it seems they squash different shaped ridges or bumps into sheet metal. I thought, that looks interesting. Perhaps one of those could help make my own type of corrugated iron, a type that would be easier to roll. And that could be the breakthrough I've been searching for. So I set out to make my own bead roller using these old cog wheels and dies and sprockets that I cut out of steel plate with my CNC plasma cutter. Even as I was putting this prototype together, I was asking myself a classic question: square shaft or round shaft? You see, a bead roller has two shafts that rotate in opposite directions. They are connected by cogwheels that sit on the shafts. Now, if I use round shafts, then I need keys in the shaft so that the cogs don't slip. I don't have a milling machine, so that could be tricky, and it would mean I couldn't use hollow pipe either. And the same applies to the dies too. The dies are the discs at the other end that do the squashing part. They also have to spin as the shaft spins with no slippage. Yes, I could weld them onto the shaft or pin them through, but what if I want to move them up or down a little bit? That's the problem. So perhaps I should use a square shaft, which allows me to slide cogwheels and dies on if they had square holes in them. And once they're on, they would obviously have to turn as the shaft turns. But a square shaft? How do I get it to spin freely? Square shafts and round bearings? How would that work? So that was my question, and one that many people in this position will have asked themselves too. Round shaft or square shaft? Both have advantages and disadvantages. So anyway, as ever, I was doing things on a shoestring, and that's why my first attempt just didn't work. The lack of proper bearings and the general bodginess of the build meant it just wasn't up to the pressures involved. So I took the opportunity of the restart to try square shafts, because with my wonderful CNC plasma cutting machine, I can draw and cut out shapes with square holes in them. If I had some sort of mill or lathe, perhaps I would have gone for the round shaft instead. And so I had to do a whole lot of measuring and found that 20mm square box iron, which I can get easily here, fits well enough into 1-inch bearings. Did you know that? I didn't know that. And 1-inch bearings are cheap enough because they're a standard size. We're mostly metric here in Ireland, but there are plenty of applications still for the old sizes. It's not a perfect fit, but it's close enough for this job, I think. And I made up a set of dies too, and well, it all sort of worked. Perhaps if I had a lot of work to do, then I could motorize it, but Sandra's excellent at turning handles. So anyway, here are my new cogs. I didn't have enough of the old ones anyway for my bigger project, and they all of course have to be identical. Okay, if you just hold there, move the camera. The shafts have to stay parallel, so the dies and the cogs have to match, which took a bit of head scratching. Now, these bumps may not look very exciting to you, but they represent a breakthrough in my project. The shape of them can be changed by using different shaped dies, and with a tandem set of dies, then parallel bumps can be formed. So it's all looking promising, but for now I have another smaller job that I need to do first. Tune in next time.